Hey, happy Friday to you. It's the Trigger, Rich Bontrager, back with another 2 p.m. with the Trigger and working into the weekend. It's been a great week, a busy week. And, sometimes we get so busy, it's overwhelming every day to show up, to get ready, to go to work, to do whatever you're doing. And even virtually, even if you're in your own home studio, you're at a studio at work, sometimes we forget to show up the best version of ourselves or to be on brand. I want to talk to you a little bit about that today because it's not always easy to think about the next call, the next appointment, the next interview. And we kind of slide back into old habits. We're creatures of habit, aren't we? So today I'm going to go back to helping you show up virtually better every day and be on that brand, being your strongest point, the best version of yourself. Because again, it's all about helping you shine on camera, shine on stage, to elevate you and your brand as a go-to expert. Because when you show up in the best version of yourself, people take note of it. And more virtually, it's becoming really important to make sure you stay focused on your brand, your image, your presentation. That's what we coach. That's what we do here at Rock to Stage. We help you with that. And as always, if you have any questions, please reach out. We'd love to talk with you and to help you elevate that. I've had several calls this week, several coaching client sessions that they're still trying to figure out the number one question of who am I? Who am I and how do I want to show up here? That's the number one question you first want to address. No matter what you sell, no matter what you do, no matter what your social accounts look like, you want to answer that really important question of who am I and how do I want to show up and demonstrate that virtually? When that camera goes on, what do you want this environment, this space to say about you without you even saying anything? That's being on brand. That's being on point virtually every day. You've been around, you've seen me going, been doing this for a long time, but I am a media expert. I'm a broadcaster, TV host. I intentionally have my environments always represent that media angle. Unless I'm doing a special project for somebody else and it's about their brand, then I brand it for them. But I have these studios. I have other ones with movie posters. I have a spotlight that can shine on me when I'm doing stand-up keynotes. And again, I'm on stage. Virtually, you want to show up every day as the best version. Now, this is another part of it. And I know it's easy to not do this. Let's admit this. It's easy to not take this next step. Show up professionally, dress professionally, be the pro that you are. Whatever your brand is, whatever your industry is, you have an expectation that people have an expectation of how you show up in that industry space. I mean, got a collared shirt or I've got a jacket when I don't go with the collared shirt. This is part of the brand. This is part of the business. This is part of saying, he looks good, he sounds good, and I understand where he's coming from. Now, sorry, I don't have any hair, so I can't talk about the hair too much, but your hair matters. Your smile matters. When you show up, are you low energy? Are you high energy? Or, there's too much energy. You can blow people away and have way too much energy. But what's your energy level when you show up virtually for your meetings, for your calls, for your interviews? Are you ready to show up and be that best version every single day? Whether you have coffee in the morning or not, are you ready to go? Can you do what you need to do to be this way? Now, talking today with another person, they don't have the green screen. They don't have that virtual setting, but they do have an office. And in conversations, it's not quite on point. It's not quite on that messaging they want yet. So we're discussing how to bring it up to that, how to do that. If you like the physical in-person set, figure out a way that set, that room communicates your brand. If you're an author, the easiest way is to have that bookshelf, but even that's getting old hat. Everyone's seen a bookshelf in your back, authors. Everyone see that you have XYZ and they're all there. You want to show your expertise as an author Get a table by your side, prop up a book with one of your recent books, show some spine of some of the other books you've written. You want to do this in a way that shows you're an author, you're an expert. It's also self-promotion. You want to do that. Maybe you're in a writing room, and instead of having the writing room hidden, set up your camera and set up your engagement so your writing room is behind. They can see you're working on a project. If you're an artist or you're a painter, Matt Miller is a colleague. Matt Miller is a painter. Matt Miller has gone through the same process I'm describing right now, where he wants to paint in person. He wants to paint virtually. He does a marvelous job of virtual events and painting while you're going. He now shows up with a canvas on camera, a paintbrush right there, and you can see some of his paintings up on the wall. He's created the environment, and he shows up every day as a painter. Now, he talks philosophy. He talks very deep other topics about the paintings, about what inspires them, but he presents that he is there every day as that professional expert painter that you want for your next event. Virtually showing up every day. That means when it comes to communication, do you know those catchphrases, those common themes you want to have every day to communicate you and your brand? And this is where, as a communication coach, it's very easy to see people get tired of my coaching of repeat it, memorize it, have it ooze out of you. You want these major phrases to flow out of you so easily. When you show up on camera, you're not down here looking at a note. You're not off camera trying to find what your favorite phrase is. Showing up virtually every day means you know your marketing phrases. You know how to talk about the value of what you bring to people. You have to be locked and loaded every day. And it's so easy to just not be prepared, to not be ready. This is the new currency. This is the new stage for your business, for your authorship, for your car mechanic shop. Whatever you do, the virtual stage is here to stay, and it's ever expanding. But every day, showing up as that best on brand version of you is the best. Right now, I have that logo up there. That logo is there. But at the same time, if I do other webinars, other sessions, maybe I'm doing a book launch. I'm going to change that to my book launch because that's the best version of that day to help someone do a book launch. When I'm working for the National Speakers Association, the NSA logo goes up there. Can't see it right too well right now, but it's there. It works for other events. But this is where you have to figure out the marketing, the branding, and it needs to be there every day. Don't miss an opportunity. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, and please ask a question in the chat, make a comment. Let me know if I'm hitting the mark here. But even in your casual conversations, you're talking to a friend, you're talking to a colleague, you're just having a meeting, but it's not a high-level meeting. The question becomes, Rich, I don't need to be on brand then, do I? You don't have to be. But what's the value of you being on brand? How would it help you to continue to show up even those semi-casual things? Because sometimes your casual conversations turn into business conversations. And instead of having to flip a switch, go back in, I'm in my virtual studio. I'm always in my virtual studio. You'll know this is who I am. So the conversation is always present. It's always brand ready. Make sure you're ready for this. I'm really urge you to, you're virtually set every single day. You never know when someone's going to look at you and say, I finally found the right person. I finally found that they know who they are. Again, who are you and what do you want to communicate? Virtually communicate that every day at the top level you can. Never play down. Always play up to your best version of yourself. People will gravitate toward that. Figure out what your dress, what your persona is going to be. Figure that out. So virtually, again, they get it. If I was still doing sports play-by-play, if I was still interviewing players and coaches and traveling like I did, I probably would have a sports jersey on, depending on the season. I would probably have a cap. I would have definitely a sports room to elevate how I'm working the sports. You see how that works? You see that would be every day. I would have 20 different jerseys in my closet. But this is where you have to figure out you, your brand, your marketing, your image, and be the best version of you. And let me give you one other tip here. The best version of you is a warm, open person. Let other stuff go. When you get on, when you're doing your thing, when you're interviewing, when you're discussing, when you're working with clients, no matter what else is going on, smile. Eye contact right here. Eye contact right to the people you're talking to, and let them know nothing else matters. You're giving the best version of yourself right here, right now, all the time. That's part of virtually showing up every day in a powerful, transformational, engaging way that has power, and people will know you, like you, trust you, because you're the same person talking the same thing every time they see you on camera, on stage. That's going to do it for today. Again, if you have any questions, comments, I'd love to hear from you. Rich@richbondtrigger.net. I love when the mail comes flying in. In fact, I need to do a mail grab day. We need to have just an open mail grab question bag where I just take some of the questions that come in the Rock the Stage Media. Definitely going to do that. Also want to remind you what we've got coming up here next Monday, and today's the last day to get the early bird on this. We are doing coaching on Restream. How do you use this? What's the value of this? How do you expand your reach? Again, show up every day. I use it every day, multiple times, but maybe that's new to you. Maybe you've never thought about Restream, or maybe multiple streaming, being one show, one interview, one conversation, but on many platforms all at one time. This is how we do LinkedIn Lives. This is how we do Facebook Lives. This is how we get over the YouTube. Now you can even go on to TikTok with Restream. I'm going to teach some of these new techniques, the new tools of using Restream to help you amplify yourself, elevate your brand in a more professional, polished way. You see me do it every day. You want to learn how to do this? Join us, scan the QR code, and we will go live at 6 p.m. this coming Monday. If you hit it today, if you register today by 9 p.m. Eastern time, you're going to save 20% off the registration fee. It's going to be a 90-minute time, but that 90 minutes is not just me talking. It's open Q&A, interaction. This will be an interactive workshop where I'm going to demonstrate and show you the behind the scenes of how Restream works, the dashboard, and more things. And you can ask your questions all the way through. Highly engaging, highly personal. You don't want to miss the opportunity to leverage the power of multi-streaming in many different ways, not just live. There's a lot more to this than just live. Hey, that's going to do it for today. Happy you could join us here today. We'll see you again back on Monday, 2 p.m. live with The Trigger, Monday through Friday, streaming on multiple channels. And we'll see you on Monday.